Alright guys, I've got my Traxxas Rustler here, and in one of my last videos I put all these RPM bits on there and these Fastrax rear drive shafts, and I've got to try and sort out how they're so tight. I mean, no one seems to know, so I'm just have a little go, put some spacers in there and see if it sorts it out. Right, so I'm just turning this like this, guys, and that is so tight. If I take it apart, you'll see why. See, now it's free. That's moving lovely now. Because what's happening is when you're tightening up the wheel, it's forcing this nut down onto the bearing and it's crushing both the bearings together. We're just making them bind. Alright, just to compare that to a standard shaft that comes with the Rustler, you put your two bearings in, shaft goes in, then a pin and a hex. I've not put the spacers in here, but just to show though, as an example, when you tighten the wheel up, this hex pushes against the pin and not the bearings. So you can tighten that wheel up as tight as you want and you're never going to push them bearings together like this. So with this other design that these Fastrax arms have got, rip this apart again. See, there's no pin, and all they're relying on is that little grub screw there. It's to stop that sliding in and pushing the bearings together. And the only fix that I can think of is to put a spacer in between here. If we put a spacer inside here, put a spacer between these bearings, and at least then when it's crushing together it's only pushing against these inner races and not the whole bearing, if that makes sense. So I've got a couple of options. I've got these spacers here out of a Nitro Stampede, and I've got these spacers here out of a LRP Blast, I think it is. And basically what we want is something just to fit. That's a bit too wide to fit in the gap. And then this one here is a bit long. So I guess, well, basically we need to find a spacer that's thicker, and I don't know if you can see that on the camera. We've got to find a spacer that's wider, a tiny bit wider than what this inner shoulder thing here is. And one way to measure that, I'll put the bearings back inside the hub. So if you measure that way, and then you zero your vernier, pop your bearings back out, put your two bearings together and measure now, and that's how big that shoulder is inside. So if we can find something about 3mm wide, that'd be perfect. What's this? Hold on, zero that again. 2.8, not wide enough. I'm thinking these standard Traxxas ones, because that will fit in there without having to make that centre hole any bigger. That'll just fall through. But it's a bit too long, so we'll have to cut it down a bit. But I'll just stick it in there anyway for now, just to check out the concept. So we put that in, put the hex on, wheel on there. Oh, I'm doing that really tight. There, check that out guys, see? That's how free it's meant to be, not like before. So, what I'm going to do, use the Stampede spacers, and I'll just have to shave them down a little bit somehow. Alright, so I got this centre punch thing, and this spacer perfectly fits over there. So I can hold that in the vise. And and slowly start attacking it. Oh, that's taking a bit too long, guys. Let's try something a bit more industrial. Alright, I think that's good enough. Got a little bit of play there, so we'll stick that back together and see how it feels. Alright, let's get it put back together. The bearing, little shoulder collar thing that we made. Bearing. And I'm going to put a little spacer on this side as well, because this part seems a little bit long. Get that hex back on there. Cool. Right, so now with a bit of luck, guys, do this up and it will spin nice. Check it out, guys, that's what it's meant to do. We've got a nice distance here as well now because of that spacer that we put on this side. So yeah, it's looking all good. Let's get it put back together. So if you look on this side, guys, look how far that centre nut sticks out. Alright, let's get that side sorted out. And then we'll take it out for a bash. Alright, that's all fitted up now, guys. Ready to go, running freely. Ready to take it out and give it some sticks, see how it holds up. So I'm still waiting to hear back for an official explanation of what we're supposed to do to make this work properly. But for now, all good. So, alright guys, hope you liked that video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, smash that bell button, and see you soon.